Hey everyone, it's Katie here, and I know I haven't seen you guys face to face in a while. I was on a trip and then I have to make up like so many tests and quizzes. Terribly sorry that I haven't really posted a video in a while. I'm going to be giving you advice on owning your first horse and how to convince your parents, I guess, to get you a horse.
We're only getting older, baby, and I've been thinking about it lately. Does it ever drive you crazy, just how fast the night changes?
Just make sure going into this you're very mature and you've done research. Make sure that you call the barns and give them your concerns, ask them questions, visit the barns, look, are the horses fat? Are they really sickly and skinny? Are they healthy? Are they happy? Are they fed? Is the fencing broken? Are the stalls dangerous? Are the stalls small? Things like that you want to look for and really make sure that you have your standards. And just because the place is cheap, don't be attracted to there because your horse is not going to have a substantial lifestyle. You need to want the best for your horse, and don't get caught up in wanting a pony so bad that you're sacrificing the well-being of your horse just so you can afford a cheap place. So that's the main mistake that people make. Really need to be prepared going into this, and I would just spend my weekends throwing away all my time scanning the ads around my area. And every time I found like a $300 horse, I'd be like, oh my gosh, we can buy this horse even though he's a stallion and he's not even broke. And obviously my parents had said no, because that's what parents do. Also, among the mistakes is I've known girls that they ride for a week and then they're like, Mommy, Daddy, I want a horse. And their parents don't let them because they think they're going to lose interest, or they let them and they are like, oh my gosh, I don't like horses anymore, I want to play soccer. And they have to sell the horse, the poor horse, and then the little girl doesn't know what to do, and the parents didn't know that the horse was going to be this expensive, and you just get into this whole cycle of horrible things that happen. It's not fair for your parents, it's not fair for your horse. So make sure that you really know the expenses before actually trying to convince your parents to get a horse. Or if you think that you can buy a horse and you've convinced your parents that you can support a horse, make sure you know the monthly breakdown and even more, because say your horse has emergency colic surgery or your horse pokes his eye out like mine did. So make sure that you're prepared and you're fully ready to tackle on the monthly costs. One of my favorite things that people say is the horse isn't the expensive part, it's how expensive it is to keep the horse. Even I laid out a whole bulletin board. I'd spend all my days researching and finding places close and finding horses that were acceptable for my skill level. And I wouldn't recommend doing that really, because it just kind of makes you sad when you can't get that horse or the horse gets sold. It just made me sad and I'd cry myself to sleep every night. Well, if you want to, you can. I'm just advising you from personal experience. So yeah, just present your parents with your information and your wants, I guess, your dreams, in a mature and optimistic kind of fashion. You don't have to say you have to get me a horse or I'm never going to talk to you again. I'm going to make money, I'm going to work at the barn this day, and this day, and I'm going to feed the horses this day, and this day, and then I'm going to earn enough money to pay for lessons, and then I'm going to cover the actual horse, and then I'm going to get the tack. You guys just have to cover the vet and fair. Work something out so they have lots of reasons to say yes and not a lot of reasons to say no, because I found that really helps. I just told my parents I try to help out with lessons and I pay for my shows, and I paid for Mory actually myself, and I got the tack. So really just kind of working out a deal with your parents is really going to make them feel better about the initial cost. So just get everything worked out, plan out every single intricate detail. That's just the most important thing ever. Number 2 is get experience whenever you can and however you can. If it's mucking stalls for 6 hours without any pay, if it's helping out with the summer camps every year where the screaming kids are killing the ponies. For 2 years, I worked at the barn once a week from 4 o'clock to 8:30 every Tuesday, and that to me was super fun, but I got like, there's so much barn drama, so I stopped doing that, and I didn't like the riding style anyway. Okay, I'm going on a ramble. Basically, do something like that. I didn't get paid. I didn't get money off lessons. I didn't get a discount off board if I was going to board there. Drive was to learn as much as I could about horses. Even if you don't have to get paid, like, it's great to get paid so you can pay for lessons, but just ask your barn manager, hey, do you need an extra hand around here? I don't need to get paid. Like, seriously, you don't even have to get paid. They're paying you enough with experience. And I always tried to groom whatever horse I could, or lunge whatever horse I could, or, you know, muck out any stall, or clean buckets, or whatever you need to do. Money can buy trainers. Money can buy a horse that can teach you. And money can buy good, knowledgeable people to help you. Honestly, I know money can't buy talent or hard work or skill or years of experience, but I definitely think it's, honestly, I'm not saying that you should ride a week and get a horse, ride for a week and get a horse, but I'm saying that it's important to have a money or a financial situation where you can have that aspect of being able to make the horse's situation better. So definitely, I've seen lots of people go on Craigslist, buy a horse for $20, and like, they're fine for the first month to pay for it, but then they're like, mommy, daddy, I need money for its monthly expenses, and then the parents are like, no, or they like try to pretend to be a horse trainer, and then like they end up making the horse worse or ripping people off. You know, it's, don't try to pretend. Like, I know it's great to be able to pay for your own horse, but honestly, a kid my age, I believe Raleigh Link 14, and I like, don't get me wrong, but like, that is very hard to do. If you have listened to her, she works super hard, and even she's older than me. She has a car, she can drive, so honestly, that is very hard to do. It takes years and years, and I saved up for 5 years, and I just had enough money to pay for my horse, and I had to make lots of sacrifices where I didn't pay for anything other than like my horse. It was very difficult, but you have to, if you really want this, then you have to get that mental, you know, toughness, and you have to really work hard for a horse. So definitely pitching in is going to help your parents, and also gain a lot of experience. I would recommend at least a year of riding. I know some people are like at least 6 months. I would say at least a good year of riding and getting as much knowledge as you can before getting a horse. I've leased 2 horses before I got a horse, and I rode 3 different styles. Definitely leasing is like really good. Even if you can't afford a horse, leasing is amazing. To give you kind of the same feel, and leasing to me was amazing. At least the second horse. The first horse was crazy, and oh, she was really crazy and naughty. She did not know how to have a rider on top of her, like, I swear. So definitely getting experience is really helpful. And a lot of people think that, a lot of people say they've been riding for only 1 year, they're showing 3-6, and they're teaching lessons. Like, no. I mean, sure, like, yeah, teaching lessons, but like, who are you teaching? Not Grand Prix riders, right? Okay. And a lot of people say, oh, it's not about how long you've been riding, it's how good you are. Like, kind of, but skill can't really make up for years of experience and getting to know the animal and knowing their behavior. Like, nothing can really make up for that. It's not an adequate trade-off. So yeah, this has kind of turned into a ramble. Say after you've worked hard, presented your research and your money plan, financial plan in a mature fashion to your parents, and your parents have finally said yes after like 7 years of trying to get your parents to buy. It took me 5 years for my parents to finally say yes, and I'd asked, a horse would be on the top of my Christmas list every single year. Definitely enroll in riding lessons. Don't just keep begging your parents until they're like, okay, we'll get you a horse. So once your parents have said, okay, yes, you can have a horse. And I'm not saying this is gonna work for everyone, and sometimes parents just can't have a horse. You just have to accept that harsh reality, and maybe when you're older and you have your own money and you have your own job, then you can get your own horse. So I'm not trying to say that this is gonna work for everyone, and you just have to accept riding lessons. Riding lessons are amazing. If you work hard enough, eventually you will get your dream, I promise you. So just be happy and say, okay, you know. Just be happy and say, okay, you know. Your parents do say yes when you're lucky. Start looking for barns. Like, you should probably have already looked for barns, maybe, but look for barns close to your area in an adequate price range with good turnout, safe stalls, happy horses, horses that can see each other, and you know, just like look for all the things that you should in a barn. Hopefully you know these and I don't have to explain them, but just a barn that suits your interests yet makes a good, safe, happy, healthy environment for your horse. So if your parents do say yes when you're lucky, start looking for barns. Like, you should probably have already looked for barns, maybe, but look for barns close to your area in an adequate price range with good turnout, safe stalls, happy horses, horses that can see each other, and you know, just like look for all the things that you should in a barn. Hopefully you know these and I don't have to explain them, but just a barn that suits your interests yet makes a good, safe, happy, healthy environment for your horse. A barn, and call multiple barns and visit multiple barns, and make sure the horses look happy and healthy and just everything like that. So once you found a barn, you can start looking for a horse, and usually you say to a barn, hey, we might be coming in here with a horse in about a month or whatever. So let them know in advance, because sometimes barns fill up quickly. In my barn, it was my lesson barn, so we knew the owner really well, so we just told her like that we were going to come in with a horse. She said okay, because she had room. So it depends on your situation, so you can kind of just modify this for your situation. So let the barn know in advance you're going to come soon. And then when you go about looking for a horse, I recommend dreamhorse.com and also like bigeck.com. Like, I mean, that's kind of expensive, but like if you really want a good solid horse, Big Eck is a great website. So yeah, and also by word of mouth, this is amazing. Like, hey, we're looking for a 16 to 17 hand horse that can do the 3-foot children's hunters, you know, like stuff like that. Just kind of putting the word out there that you're looking for a horse, and like, if so, what kind, because tack store people are involved with a lot of horse people, and they can really find out if a horse is for sale, you know. So word of mouth is amazing. And then also trainer, like my trainer found my horse for me, so thank you, Allie, you're amazing. So my trainer found my horse for me, so that could be your method too. So when you go out to see the horse, don't choose the first horse you meet. I mean, you can, but like try other horses after, just to make sure. And I would try at least 3 horses. I tried 3 horses, or at least 2. At least 2. I would try at least 2 horses. And I don't recommend getting them off Craigslist, because you never know people. So also go see the horse many times and make sure you guys are a good fit, and always get a vet check for the horse before finalizing the purchase. Good luck with your horse endeavors, and I hope this video was helpful. And my camera is about to die, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for 700 subscribers. I love you guys. Bye. Bye.